Hey guys, and welcome back to Steel and Wheels. This episode, we're gonna build the elevator. Now I just thought, just to see where we started, if I had a square head. Apparently not. So it's probably a bad start to the day, but we'll see how we get anyway. Alright, let's do it guys. Alright guys, the first thing we need to do is remove this piece here, chop it off in line with that plate there, and then we should be able to get access into here to put the lift. It's not really the first thing we need to do, but we're waiting on a mate to get here to give me a handle all weekend. So we'll just do the one-man jobs. I really feel like hauling 8 metre lengths today, so not on my own anyway. So we'll just chop this out and start doing all the small stuff while waiting for him to arrive. Now, if I was a betting man, I would say my engineer's expecting that piece to be put back in there after the lift's been put in place. Why, you say? I feel like people just like having to do more work. I don't know, they just enjoy it. So we'll double check the drawing afterwards, but I'm pretty confident that once it's done, that'll have to go back up there with a sandwich plate or something like that. We've cut it straight off, so there ain't gonna be none of that. I think it's called a fish joint where they zigzag it down to add back the structural support. We didn't do that, so we'll have to sandwich plate it probably. Oh well, we'll get this corner cleaned up and continue to keep kicking on. Whenever I need to get that English out. Alright guys, so for the top part where the winch is going to connect, it'll basically, as per the drawing, it'll consist of 2 pieces of 75 by 50 box that stand upwards on the 50mm section. That'll get capped ends, and then on top of that there'll be a piece of 6mm sheet which the winch will be welded to. So first thing we're going to do is just cut this sheet out to the length we want it, which is 500 by 200. We use a plasma for that because it's easier than a grinder and I'm not a cheapskate. Well, not really. Just lazy. I'm lazy. So plasma it is. So I'll get this marked out and make a move. This is my new little pencil crayon something that I got. Comes with a little sharpener and stuff. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, that's the I'm going to cut out up there, across there, and then Bob's your uncle will have a piece of plate. Now once we get that off, we'll bevel all the edges because according to the drawing, we've got to have a bevel, and then we need to do a 4mm fillet along this edge, the 2 inside edges, across the back 2 faces where it meets, and then the caps on the ends. So yeah, we'll get this cut out and we'll bevel the edges. That'll be that plate ready. There we go, 1 sheet. Alright guys, so now that I've got that piece cut out, it's pretty smooth, pretty straight cut. Pretty happy with it. This cut here is actually my cut as well. These two are the original edges, if that's a comparison for you. Original, my cut. So, as you can see, it's pretty good. Plasmas do a great job if you're good with them. We got a little bit, leave a little bit of slag left over on them, but apart from that, they're not bad. Bit of a tip for getting your straight cut is set yourself up a straight edge that meets your plasma cutter torch. So if it's anything like mine has got a few different size steps on it as it goes up. So you can either meet onto the tip, or the other bits, porcelains, or I think they might be called, or something like that. You can meet wherever you want, however you want to do it. Meet onto one of them so that your plasma is cutting right where you want it to cut, and then you'll get as straight a cut as possible. That's the best way I've found to get your straight cuts. You know, once you get a steadier hand, you can do it freehand, but you can still get a hiccup, or the torch gets, like, glues itself to the material or something like that, and then it'll kick you sideways because you're freehand or whatever. So I just use that. Other stuff I'll freehand, round stuff or whatnot, but yeah. So we'll bevel up this plate now. We'll get rid of this sheet. I don't know that we need it for the rest of the build, so we'll just get rid of it, and we'll start beveling this piece of plate and prepping it for its weld up. Alright, so now we're going to bevel these edges. Not that I think you guys can see it, but just here, ran off the edge. Oh, you can sort of see it a little bit. It's just a bevel. That's that done. Moving to the next step. Alright guys, so we got this plate cut out. We said, I drilled some holes and I didn't bore you with that. That's just where the winch is gonna bolt up. Those two holes are just clearance holes for the winch to got like a crack around the winch. So they're just to fit those bolt heads through. They're for the bolt up points for the winch itself. We've got two lines marked down here for our 50 by 75 bolts. Jack's just done the honours of cutting them out for us, so they will go there like that. And then the other one on this side, and then weld them in, and the winch will go in there, and then we'll start building the bottom of the frame and the top of the frame, and then we'll cut some legs and put it all together. So with that said, I'll make it a little square and at the right length, and we'll weld them in place. Alright guys, so we're all tacked up how we want it. It's all even spaced. So now I'm just going to drop some fillets in here and in here, and then out here, across the tops and backs. And then we've got to cap these off, and then this piece is done, and we can start on the rest of it. Jack is over here. We got to lift the camera like 7 foot high because he's like about 42 foot tall. 42 foot, so yeah. Like if I put it where I have it, that's about where I'd have it, you can only see his boobs. So yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, but he's over there cutting some material out, help me out. So while he's doing that, I'm gonna get into this. Alright, so we've got this centerpiece all welded out now. Top, bottom, around the edges. It's all welded, so now I just go through, clean up the grinder, make it look good. Jack is over there taking a break. He's gonna make these caps for me now, and then I'll weld the caps on for this. I believe it's just to help these not crush or anything like that, so we'll cap them off. And then we can start making the base, which we've got the 4 pieces cut out over there for the bits on the floor, and then we'll miter them up so that they're all mitered together and look nice. And then we'll start building the top bit, the bit that goes up there, that goes on top of. So we'll do that and we'll get on with it. Alright, so these are the spaces. What's happened is we got a piece of 50 by 50 angle and basically spliced it down the middle to give us two pieces of 50 by 3 mil flat plate, I guess you call it. So now we've got to cut them at 70 mil to make the end caps for, not them, that up there. We've got to make end caps for them out of that. So Jack's gonna cut them out now, so I'll leave you in his capable hands.
This is gonna be a fuck around.
That's all I like.
Show you guys up back. What's the beverage of choice, man?
Sarsaparilla.
That's it, that's how we get it done.
Alright guys, we've got all the 45s cut for the miters now. So we've got a 45-degree vise locking them in place. We got this on here to keep them level and flush with each other. So I'll put a tack probably in this corner and then the bottom corner. and then we can do the next piece, which will probably be that one. It's another long, this is the short side, that's the long side, so we'll probably do another long side down there, get it all square and locked out, then we'll do the bottom, square it out, lock it out, we'll take a diagonal measurement on both sides, make sure it's square and right, and then we'll weld it out from there.
Far away.
Alright.
Far away.
Alright, so we've got it all squared off. This is a little bit harder than we thought. This corner over here, we did have one problem, one really bad cut that came off the drop saw, so we had to do a fair bit of modification to square it all up, but it's square and how we want it, so now we're going to weld it out. Now I think the best way of welding this out is going to be from outside to in and do all four, flip it, do the same, and then we'll weld the insides and the outsides after that. So let's get into it.
That's like literally the reason I picked it.
Yeah, you jumped the gun on that one, mate. So.
It's alright, keep going.
Ready?
You ain't singing the song to his people.
I told you. Slide set up for this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So like welding some like box underneath here,
I think I'd pull it
and
out.
just like, boom, and load another 500 mil each side, I reckon.
Yeah. So
You can't just put one plate on you. Put both on to use it, I think.
yeah.
But otherwise, it's just too both. But I think it just make building stuff that a little bit easier. I'll just clean this bench up a little bit. Alright, so we're up to the top piece. We didn't really want to bore you with cutting them all out and getting them all right again, because it's basically the same as the bottom. It is slightly longer, roughly 20-25 mil longer, because it'll actually be sloped to match the roof. Also, because it's the top, it needed to have stronger stuff in there, so it's 75 by 50 rather than the 50 by 50. And it's been capped at the ends, just like the other piece is. And this 50 by 50 will just go in here at the end, on both ends. Square them up, weld them in. Once they're in place, we will then grab the winch mount and mount the winch mount on here. It will run That way. Yeah, it's gonna run that way. That's the way we're gonna run it. Then once that's done, we'll see where we're at, but we may call it an episode there, may not, we'll see how we go. Penis. But I have Sammy come up with a semi solution. You wanna hear it? Yeah, Matt. It's on the other side. The solution's on the other side, Joe. I did.
Because I tried to put these clear safety glasses on thinking they'd make it.
Look how good that is, Jack.
Yeah,
Making babies. Making fucking babies.
What do you want me to stop recording now?
Is it still recording?
Yes. The last 10 seconds of this video are going to be a bit haggard. I was trying to run around and chase. Yep.
Alright guys, so we've welded the top out. It's pretty square. This is not welded in, it's just sitting there. We'll do some measuring on this side and probably this side, and then same on that side. Just to make sure it is square and in the middle. Apart from that, we'll double check this. If it's right, we'll leave it. If it's wrong, maybe we have to change it. We'll double check. The plate will be fine, just whether the holes aren't perfect or not is another story, but we'll see. Yeah, that's where we're at. The base is done, which we did before. The top's done. We'll weld this in place, and then I think we're good to keep cracking on to the next thing. All right, let's get it done.
We're filming now.
So, fuck it up, you can just do the tape measure. Tape measure each right, then we'll leave that. Is this the most advanced thing you've ever built?
Well, actually, yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Is this the site you bought?
Yeah, you should look
Wait,
at
you
it.
video me, why wouldn't you?
No, I'm getting your Instagram shots. Oh my god, I'm a photographer. You're
I'll
recording.
have the right spanner on.
You are recording.
How long have you been recording for? Alright guys, that's going to conclude episode 1 of the elevator build. We are, I'd say, a little over halfway with the frame, maybe 2/3. We've just got to build some legs for it and paint it, it's pretty much finished. Then we'll be sticking it up in the hole over there. Once that's stand up in there, we'll start working on building the cradle platform, whatever you want to call it. And we'll get that placed in there. That sort of has to be built out here and then put in there, and then have the stabilizers built in its place so that they're set right and square and whatnot. Apart from that, everything's gone really smoothly. Appreciate Jack coming out and lending me a hand. I think he's going to stick around and help me out get the rest of it done. That'll be great. Remember to like, subscribe, add the Insta channel, steelingwheels.yt, and we'll see you on the next episode. Cheers guys.